So with the maintenance tomorrow, we actually will have a new update coming to Epic 7. And this update is one of the biggest ones probably ever, just because we have a new PvP game mode. And you're going to see that we are getting Draft Arena that was always playable in mock battles or custom battles, and now you can actually use matchmaking to actually find opponents and actually be able to play. And you're going to see that it's only available for certain times though. I think they're still trying to test out the balancing. You'll see it's available for 2 hours, 3 times daily. You guys are going to have to look at the times in your time zone, but 3 to 5 a.m. UTC, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. UTC, and also 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. UTC, you can play this draft mode. And you can basically see how this works. Yeah, I think what will happen is the same thing as before. 3 of these units will pop up, and you have to choose them. You can actually choose different stat configurations and artifacts even, they'll show up, so it's not one locked build anymore. And this page is kind of like going to be on the main page in the game to show you what units are available and also what stats they're actually run on. Also, you're going to see that there are new heroes added to this draft mode that weren't available in the mock battles. You get Hwayang, Rimuru, Elvira, Biblis, Arunka, Blooming Litica, and so forth, even Laya. So we get a ton of new units here, even Dragon King Shroon and ML Ludwig, which I think is great. You can test out a lot of new units that you don't have, and some heroes will be removed. So Fumir, Mercedes, Pilis, and Inos. I'm not too sure why, but that's just how they're doing it. And they're adding different equipment settings for certain units here, as you can see. Yeah, pretty cool. You can see that these units are going to be the same way. You can choose from 1 of 3. And also there's a option here at the bottom left to change the units that you see. It's kind of like a reroll that you see in a lot of chess games, like auto chess games and like Teamfight Tactics and stuff like that, which is nice. And basically you'll see that same as the other draft modes, just max level, max awakening, maxed out gear. I think they have all the same equipment scores, are roughly the same. They also have max artifacts, max imprints, and exclusive equipments, which you can see, which will make this super fun. I think this is a great change to the game. One of the best for Epic 7 because it allows free-to-play and newer players to actually play a PvP mode competitively without needing to have every single unit and crazy gear. So I'm very excited, and I really hope they do make this permanent and actually implement a ranked system so you can actually play competitive. And then next we have the balance adjustments. So I actually talked about these balance adjustments in the past. We'll just kind of glance over it. So Little Queen Charlotte getting buffed, and basically it'll make it so that you inflict extinction now, which is insane. Because it stops a lot of the revives, especially for Abyssal Euphine. She can Holy Sacrifice and live again. Also, her imprint's being changed to crit chance, which will make her a lot easier to build on high damage, so she will definitely be one-shotting a lot more units now. We have Tom Luca to actually be changed as well. Basically, her S3 will do more damage, and also you don't need to S2 anymore before S3 because your S3 will give you that attack buff instead, which make her a lot better against units like Ocean Breeze Luca, who can't cut you anymore. Just Politis, just anything that can usually cut you with non-attack skills, or that punishes non-attack skills even, like Green Sleene even. Tom Luca will be fine into them because you just lead with S3 now, and then you still get that stealth, you can S2 the next turn. And if you actually kill a unit, actually I don't even think you need to kill a unit, you can just CR push your team with your S3 now instead of your S2. Your S2 is only really there to give yourself a barrier and give attack buff to your allies. And with your S3 you can CR push units now, give attack buff to yourself. Next we have Requiem Moana. She is getting her passive changed. It used to only activate once per turn, but now you can actually activate it more than once per turn. And the reason why this is really good is because units that actually stopped full CR gains, such as like Politis, kind of countered Requiem Moana really badly. But now you can actually just use her. And if your frontline unit's fast enough, like, you know, I don't know, Ran or something, or they proc like extra turns, you can kind of fight back, so a lot better. Also, our S3 is getting a huge rework. Basically, they're not making it scale with how many times you use it. That was so useless. Now it will have actually a strip of a buff on it, a Dispel 1 buff, which is extremely nice. And also, it'll do more damage, just straight up. You don't have to wait for it to ramp up. Clarissa being changed, nothing really crazy, mostly for PvE. And then Falcon and Clury, not Combat Readiness, resource reduction on her S1 now, which is very nice against Fighting Spirit units. You know, like Lionheart Sirmia, Lone Crescent Bologna, Navy Captain Landy, Abyssal Euphine, all the top units for PvP that are damage dealers, they really rely on Fighting Spirit, and Falcon and Curry will kind of counter that. Of course, Victorious Flag being changed just to do more damage and just make you take less damage. Very nice. Only for RGB units though. Or I guess it only will apply to RGB units if you're attacking them or getting hit by them. And then Rage is being changed as well to give you more attack and speed, which will work with Janua very well. A lot of Constellation changes. We talked about this in the past, but it'll make a lot of these units a lot better. Just either, units that want to be fast that just had bad base stats, such as Architect Leica and Calric, they're getting more speed, and other units that actually, even like units like Tamada Luka actually are getting buffed with speed. And then other units that want to be more tankier are losing that crit chance and getting more health and speed, so just very nice things. Next, we have the two banners. We have Zahhak and Ilyanov. We'll talk about them separately in a different video, but it's going to be right after the maintenance. Zahhak, super good. You definitely want to make sure you have him. Ilyanov, kind of more niche, but still decent as well. And then, of course, we have the Powder of Knowledge Shop rotation, which we'll actually talk about as well, because there are some good artifacts you're definitely going to want to get from here. Other improvements and adjustments, nothing really too crazy. Biggest thing from this patch, though, is this balance adjustment with the Constellation changes, and of course the addition of Draft Arena. And we have a new unit, Janua, that just came out, which we'll talk about tomorrow's video, so make sure you guys watch for that.